So really looking at this flipping around of how we can systemically support this decentralization and localization of food systems globally, this is where South Africa can leapfrog, and we've got that opportunity to do that. And this is what the mission is of the SAOSO Foundation. So for those who don't know yet, we have now aggregated PGS South Africa and SAOSO, both voluntary organizations, into a foundation. And we are borrowing a little bit more of a corporate structure where we can actually run a tighter ops team with a board of directors, so our governance is nice and tight. As you know, you can't attract big global funds unless you have strong governance, and then how that filters down provincially into the farmer organizations and the provincial PGS structures, so we can actually then go and engage provincial government. That's where the budget is sitting. It's not sitting at national, it's sitting at provincial. So you have to have your farmer associations really organized and ready to receive. And that is the main mission for us over the next 5 years, is to really get our governance structures in place and organize the provincial producer networks to be able to service the expanding local market. I think in closing, guys, one of the biggest amazing things that we can witness is this birth of AI and how that can be applied into supply chain engineering. We've been using it specifically around trying to attract the resources, proposal development as an example, into supply chain engineering, into farmer technical support. And I think that's where we can really think out the box, look at these international solutions and then bring them to be more accessible to South African farmers. With the policy that's being passed, like you say, Mark, the future is bright. And for those who have been walking in the sector for a very long time, often does feel like a little bit of a lonely space. But being in a room like this, where all organic enthusiasts, this is the type of family that we have to keep connected with, because when we are interrelating with each other, witnessing each other's work, and really sharing the success stories of what is actually going on in this country, it is no longer a niche sector. It is the future of agriculture. Organics and agroecology, as we know, is going to be the next 50 years. And for those who have been working at this to a point where we've got businesses with such a track record like Talborn, we are on the right track. And we can take heed in each other's work and remain inspired to do this. The most important work on the planet right now, in my view, is to preserve the soil quality for the future generations, make sure that our biodiversity is strong and our water is managed correctly. And with that, ladies and gents, I think I'm going to hand over the mic back to you. And thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Thank you.
Before Matt runs off here, are there any questions? We have a bit of time. Have there any questions for Matt? You have opportunity now.
Yes, thank you. That was a very interesting chat. And the value of improving soil qualities is paramount. How long does it take to migrate from a chemical or organically farmed unit into, I realize it obviously depends on conditions, and is it cost effective, a timeline and effectivity? Because obviously this is what we're all steering towards.
Yeah, generally, I mean, points of thumb is that it generally goes from about 3 years to 5 years to totally transition from synthetic agriculture to organics. It obviously depends on your soil quality and your mineral content in your soil up to then. But some of the biggest savings that the regenerative farmers that are operating at scale, growing grains and cattle, is the fact that they reduce their inputs is one of the biggest cost savings. So you immediately see a profitability of the farm over a short period of time, 2 to 3 years. The farm is more profitable. You're weaning off the synthetic NPK, and by the 5th year, your organic matter in your soil is stabilized, your water retention capacity is stabilized, your cation exchange has stabilized as well, and therefore your plants are healthier. Therefore, you don't need as much pesticide or herbicides, whether it be organic or synthetic. So, long answer to your short question, 3 to 5 years, a successful transition, and there's some really great cases around the country where that has been done even faster. But I think in essence, we all know anything that is outside of preserving soil quality and the mineral content in the soil is not truly organic. Because this is where I think that European organic brush, unfortunately, has tainted the work of the Global South, is that it's still extractive agriculture to some degree. Even though you are using organic inputs, you're still extracting. So now introducing things like cover cropping, rotational grazing, and many of the other techniques, that is the only way that we're able to really monitor soil health.